Welcome to part 3 of my looking back at the WrestleMania main events and giving them all ratings. Now we're at WrestleMania 21 from 2005, which was main evented by Batista and Triple H. You know, both the championship matches of this show were not very good. Batista, Triple H had its moments. I would give it 3 stars. Bradshaw v John Cena was a dreadful match. But I think the match that stole this WrestleMania was Kurt Angle v Shawn Michaels. And I know I'm supposed to be talking about the main events, but I couldn't talk about this WrestleMania 21 without mentioning that wrestling clinic between Angle and Shawn Michaels. WrestleMania 22, main evented by John Cena v Triple H. John Cena made Triple H tap out clean in the main event. The atmosphere during the match by the crowd was great. I'd give it 3 stars out of 5. The work rate wasn't that great, but it was quite a good atmospheric match. Next, we have WrestleMania 23, which of course featured the now 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump, on the show. Its main event was Shawn Michaels versus John Cena. I preferred the match they had in London, I think, like a week later. I'd have given their match in London 4 stars. I would give this one 3 stars out of 5. Shawn Michaels did his best. John Cena was... I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, far from. I don't think he's one of the greatest ever. But that's just my opinion. But he was quite solid in this match. 3 stars out of 5 altogether. WrestleMania 24 featured Edge versus The Undertaker. The Undertaker went 16-0, defeating Edge, tapping him out. I think this match is overrated. I don't think it was that. It was 3 stars at best. I don't think it was that great. I don't think it was main event material for WrestleMania. Maybe it would have been better on a Survivor Series or something. I don't think it was quite WrestleMania level. WrestleMania 25, I might have mentioned this in a few videos before, but I was at WrestleMania 25. It was the one and only WrestleMania I've been at, and it was one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. But I have no regrets about going, as I always wanted to be at WrestleMania, and I got to see Stone Cold Steve Austin, my personal favourite, at WrestleMania. And I compare WrestleMania 25 to WrestleMania 13. It was kind of rubbish overall, with a dud main event. The main event I would give no stars, like the WrestleMania 13 main event. WrestleMania 25 main event between Randy Orton and Triple H put the crowd to sleep, and I was there in person, and that's what basically happened. We went to sleep. We were a little bit exhausted from Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, which is probably the second greatest match in WrestleMania history after Austin Rock 2. So I have no regrets about going, because I got to see that match. It's one of the greatest professional wrestling matches of all time. Still gets talked about a lot today. But the main event sucked. And that's the bottom line, because I was there. WrestleMania 26 was the sequel to the original Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker match at WrestleMania 25. Now, I had tickets for WrestleMania 26, but I just couldn't make it in the end. But I didn't think this match topped their previous match. It was one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time and one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time, but I don't think it topped the WrestleMania 25 match. So I would give it 4 stars out of 5. I would give the WrestleMania 25 match 5. WrestleMania 27. Hold on a second. The Miz versus John Cena. Now, 10 years previously, we had the best main event of all time between Steve Austin and The Rock. And at WrestleMania 27, we got one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time between The Miz and John Cena. 1 star out of 5. WrestleMania 28, the once-in-a-lifetime main event between The Rock and John Cena. I think it was quite a special. It was nice to see The Rock back in wrestling again. It was kind of special to see him against John Cena. I'd give the match overall a 3-star rating. I was shocked to see The Rock actually winning. I thought John Cena for sure was going to tap him out in the middle of the ring. But I was wrong, and I was glad I was wrong. It was a nice feel-good moment when Cena got beat for a change. Of course, they ruined it a month later, making John Cena beat Brock Lesnar, but that's another video for another day. Then a year later, we had a twice-in-a-lifetime main event between John Cena versus The Rock, and it sucked, so I can only give it 1 star out of 5. It was not very good at all. And John Cena got his win back. WrestleMania 30 was the triple threat match between Daniel Bryan. Again, his big moment against Batista and Randy Orton, and this was a solid triple threat match. 4 stars out of 5 from me. It's the second greatest triple threat match in WrestleMania history, only behind Benoit v Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Now we've only got 2 WrestleManias left, so I'm going to do them both in this video. WrestleMania 31, which I done a video during my time on YouTube. I wasn't uploading during the time when WrestleMania 27 came on, so I never done a video on that. But I done a video or videos for 28, 29, 30, but like with 27, I didn't do a video for 31, but I thought it was one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And the main event was, and you might be shocked to hear me say this, considering how I've been criticising Roman Reigns and the way he's been booked lately, but him and Brock Lesnar put on one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. And it was made even more special when Seth Rollins came in and cashed in his Money in the Bank. I would have to give this main event, I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. Almost getting a 5th star, but it was very solid. WrestleMania 32, another contender for worst main event. I mean, Roman Reigns proved at WrestleMania 31 when booked right and with the right opponent, he can put on a great wrestling match. It's just the whole being shoved down our throat nonsense we're sick of. They should book him and others much, much better. But anyways, this match, I mean, Triple H had no business being in a WrestleMania 32 main event. He's way past his prime. And he's not a special attraction like The Undertaker. I don't get excited to see Triple H make his once-a-year matchup. The Undertaker's different because Undertaker's a lot better than Triple H and much more of a special attraction of WrestleMania than Triple H will ever be. But this main event was, I mean, I think it put 100,000 fans to sleep. I'm not sure if it was the worst WrestleMania match of all time. There's been a few contenders when I've done these videos. But yeah, I think it was even worse than The Miz versus John Cena from 27. So I would say WrestleMania 32 main event was the worst of this decade, the 2010s. Now, we're getting close to WrestleMania 33, and I have to say the build-up has been lazy and one of the worst I've seen. I am excited for Brock versus Goldberg, even though I think Goldberg is past his prime. I do respect the man, and I love Brock Lesnar, so I'm interested to see what happens there. Maybe Goldberg will win again. That would be interesting. But I think a lot of matches on the show aren't WrestleMania worthy. I think Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles has just been thrown together. AJ Styles deserves much better than that. He's been the MVP of WWE this last year plus. Roman Reigns will probably go 23-2. Well, The Undertaker, should I say, will probably go 23-2 when Roman beats him and retires him. And I've covered that a lot in my videos lately, my opinion on that. And then there's this garbage between John Cena, Nikki Bella, and The Miz and his wife. I always forget her name. But, I mean, that's not even Sunday Night Heat material, that matchup there. That's garbage. But anyway, I hope WrestleMania 33 is wonderful and is great and has a decent main event. Even though I do love Brock Lesnar and like Goldberg, I don't think the main event will deliver, but I think whatever match they do will be much better than what we got last year. I don't think we can get much worse than Triple H v Roman Reigns from last year. Anyways, hope you enjoyed my ratings and looking back at all the WrestleMania main events, and I'll speak to you all again very soon.